I made 6 figures running an Airbnb business, and you can too. So I was raised in Queens, New York, and if you're familiar with New York City, it's probably one of the most beautiful yet roughest cities in this world. I grew up in a Jamaican household with my grandparents, my mother, and my uncle. My grandmother is one of the biggest inspirations to me in this world. She was an immigrant from Jamaica. She was the first of her 7 siblings to move to the US because she wanted to create a better life for her family. She was inspired to become a nurse. So when she touched down in Queens, she became a home care assistant for rich families. She admired the houses that her bosses lived in. And she knew one day if she worked hard enough, she would be able to purchase a house of her own. She worked tirelessly, 2 jobs, day and night, till she was able to save enough money to purchase her own home. One by one, her siblings came to the US shortly after. She helped each of them get settled into their new home. She was selfless, and that's one of the major characteristics that I admired the most about her. I attended college in Birmingham, Alabama, because it was the right thing to do. I had dreams of being in the tech world, but the reality was it wasn't a true passion of mine. Straight out of college, I started my career in tech sales. Throughout my sales career, I worked really hard and I made the most money that I've ever seen in my life. But I quickly ruined my credit because I just assumed the money was coming right back. So I ended up spending a lot of my money on shopping. Forever 21, Zara, Macy's, you name it, I was there. And it didn't help that I worked inside of a mall as well. Tech sales became very slow. Layoffs started to occur all over the world. They started transferring me to new stores that they just finished firing a bunch of people at, where there was a huge language barrier for me. My boss then started to stress me out a lot, tell me that I was failing at meeting the quotas. I was shortly after diagnosed with anxiety, which caused me to go into a deep depression. I found myself going out with my friends a lot, drinking, and doing all of this to kind of escape my reality, just to go back to sleep and wake up and go right back to work the next day. I no longer felt fulfilled out of life. Don't get me wrong, I was making a lot of money. I traveled the world, I bought the finest cars, I had the most expensive luxury handbags, but something was off. I knew there was more to life than working where I was at. I decided I needed a career shift. So I went to YouTube University, searched all through Instagram, and I came across new business ideas, new side hustles that I can get into. I tried everything, down to trading options. That was fun. I made a lot of money, but I couldn't handle always depending on when the dip was going to happen and being so attached to my phone at all times of the day. It wasn't good for my mental. I tried drop shipping. I actually started to see a lot of increase in profits, especially during the holiday season. But right before December, Walmart decided to terminate our storefront. And it left me with almost $20K in debt. My savings became lower and lower. So at this point, I just decided the best thing for me to do was to start applying for jobs again. And then I came across a YouTube of a host in Atlanta that had over 17 plus units, and she didn't own not one property. I was very intrigued, I'm not gonna lie. And then it clicked. I can do this too. I was very familiar with real estate, thanks to my grandmother. And I'm also smart enough to get this done. I'm smart enough to start a business and scale it to wherever I desire. I didn't have anything left to lose at this point. So I rented an apartment near my old college under my LLC name. I got it furnished within 3 days. And before I knew it, my listing went live. By accident. I didn't even have my pictures up. It was just stock photos. And I remember getting my very first inquiry, which was an instant booking. And the gentleman asked, does this Airbnb have 2 beds and a couch as described? And I said, yes, it does. And before I knew it, my first booking was confirmed and my first payout from Airbnb hit my account. Once I got my professional pictures listed on the website, my next booking was a total of $5,780. I couldn't believe my eyes. I literally invested $6,000 into this business and I made it back in 1 month. I knew that this was a start of something life-changing. I wanted to execute. I wanted to solidify my foundation. So then I decided to start a team that I could hire and train. My first Airbnb listing was 16 hours away from where I currently reside. I knew I couldn't do this business alone. I was fortunate enough to be able to hire friends and family to assist with cleaning, property management, and maintenance. It was one of the greatest feelings in this world. I never realized how impactful my business would be towards my community. Guests started to post and tag my Airbnb, Instagram, to the point where I started to receive bookings word of mouth. Luckily, I already had my direct website set up for bookings, and I began to get direct bookings. It was amazing. This success did not happen overnight. I spent 2 years studying the Airbnb business and perfecting my craft. I invested in some mentorships and classes until I felt comfortable to take that first leap. I began posting on TikTok just to raise engagement and awareness of my Airbnb listing and to possibly get more bookings. But it ended up becoming me getting flooded with messages on teaching other people and mentorship services and, do I have something put together, or can I ask you a question about starting an Airbnb business? And it just made sense to me at that point that I come up with something that just makes it easier that I could just send out to everybody who would ask. And that brought me to B&B Passively 101 with Angie Say Less. It is my one-on-one course that I have curated for anybody who is interested, and it is super beginner friendly. I then went on to get a couple of mentees, and then my mentees started to get their own properties. And it all started happening at such rapid speed. I truly felt like I then found my purpose. I was able to spend more time with my family and friends and my loved ones. I had the freedom now to work from anywhere in the world. I was just at the hair salon the other day and got an inquiry. And my team does a damn good job making sure that this business is running and flowing as smoothly as possible. None of this would have been possible if I did not change my mindset and my thought processes on money and how it comes to me, and that I am deserving of it. I started to read more books to form better habits day by day. I educated myself on taxes, and I started to network with more powerful people that I wanted to be just like. I knew whatever I set my mind to, I could get it done. What I would tell my younger self is to never give up on your dreams. You have a true purpose in life, and it may not be the direction your family has for you, but the beauty of this world is that you can create your own path. Being a Jamaican female entrepreneur is not easy, but it has truly changed my life for the better, and I wouldn't change it for the world.